Hey guys, what's up? This is Wes from PCJews, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Elise and jungle gameplay. This is my first Elise video of Season 4, and it's going to be a damage style Elise. So to start right off, I ward their red to see where Jax is starting. It turns out he's starting blue, so I make up my mind that I'm going to counter jungle him, because he is much stronger than me post 6, however pre 6 I can kind of shove him around, get an advantage. So one thing that I've noticed about Season 3 is that nobody tends to go directly from one buff to another. They hit a camp in between so they can get level 3 off the other buff, which means that their other buff is vulnerable. So if I start my blue and just immediately rush the red, I get to take it for free. And although I won't be level 3, I'll still have a red buff, and I'll be level 2 on Lee Sin, which is really big, especially considering how strong Lee Sin is just with 2 abilities. So I really want to fight him right now, and I walk into this bush and end up seeing him. And he actually uses E to block a lot of my initial basic attack damage. But the fact that I have the red buff and that he doesn't means that I'm still going to win this fight anyways. He fails his flash, I get a free kill, I get a refresh on my blue buff. So I decide, alright, he's dead, I might as well counter jungle. I take his race, and then let's speed it up a bit. And then I go back into my own form of jungling. I'm going to try to give a gank bot lane. They're not really shoved, and there's not much damage. So this gank actually turns out being unsuccessful. Spoilers, I missed my Q, it's gonna, whatever. It's hard to gank Leona, she's just terribly tanky, and it's really easy for her and Caitlyn to end up turning the gank, especially when they have Ignite. So I just back. With Damage Lee Sin, I'm running 2190 Masteries, and flat AD, runes, quints, marks, magic resist per level, blues, and armor seals, as always. So I go now to my red, and take that pretty quickly because I've got a double longsword build going, and I'm going to decide to gank mid. It turns out that Jax is coming in, so this is a really good counter gank. I see the block W in, and I assume that she's going to try to W back to her spot, but she actually keeps going. So I'm like, okay, that's a free ass kill, so I just have to give a little flash there after connecting my Q and E on her, and I get the double kill actually because Jax had been trying to gank Brand at that moment. So now my job is just to help shove this lane with Brand and get him his experience advantage. And hope to God that he doesn't feed LeBlanc, because that champion is a very, very hard assassin. So I go back, do a little bit more counter jungling. I take his race in white, so he's going to be low on experience. I'm like, hey, top is pretty shoved. I notice that Riven has left the lane. I assume she goes to ward, so I'm like, she's not going to expect to gank 10 seconds after warding. So I tell Garen to go aggressive, and I just walk into the lane. He wards the bushes really good. It gives me vision. She decides to flash, but she waits like way too long, honestly. Like, she should have flashed like 10 years earlier, because she got hit by my E-slow, and which revealed her and made it so that I could easily hit my Q and finish the kill. So for the next little bit, I just end up farming. I don't think I look for any ganks. If I do, they're not successful, but I'm just going to try to get my Elder Lizard pretty early. Ignore that Q, that was bad. I'm just trying to get my Elder Lizard early so I can gank more often and take the conservation stacks as my main form of income. So back here, I'm able to pick up my Lizard and Boots and a couple of wards and wards. I don't get a Sightstone until later in this game, so it's very important that I have wards to jump to so I can like fancy foot my way out of situations and stuff, because Lee Sin without mobility, like wards and stuff to jump to, is useless. I accidentally get Brand's Boom, like, oh well, I might as well put it to good use, so I just immediately rush bot, because Sivir's been complaining all game. And this just shows how annoying Leona is. I just said to kick her into the team, but like, she eased back to me, which was smart of her and stupid of me to keep going. But then, oh no, I'm about to die. Wait, can we see that again? Sure enough, the Lulu Flash ultimate saves my life. And we end up getting, well, I end up getting a double kill out of that, and hopefully shutting Sivir up. I was actually talking, you happy now? And she said, at least give me an assist on the first one. I was like, you're muted, so I just stopped talking to her at that point. But I wanted to get a ward on their red. Apparently Jax counter jungled themselves. I don't really know why. Maybe he was low on health or something, but like, he didn't clear his buff, so I was just like, alright, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore this. Cleared it for him and timed it so I could take it the next time. This right here is the biggest reason I like Damage Lee Sin in this new jungle. You just get a couple of points in W, and you have like a few points in your Q, and you can easily settle the dragon with just an Elder Lizard. Like, very, very easily in the early game. Like, bot lane has no idea this is going on, mid has no idea this is going on, the jungler has no idea. Like, it's just a free dragon. Like, my top laner, my mid laner, and both my bot laners just got free gold just because I was smart enough to go take a dragon for free with my Elder Lizard. So I'm just going to end up farming these next few bits away. Nothing special happens, so you'll notice that things are sped up. So I'm going to talk a little bit about playing a damage Lee Sin. Damage Lee Sin is a little similar to damage Kha'Zix's jungle. You don't really want to go in at the start of a fight. If at all possible, you really want to have a tank top laner like Garen. I got really lucky this game. Because if you go in right at the front, you're just going to get bursted down unless you are just some serious god mechanically. And I don't know why Saber flashed there, but she did, and I'm just not going to talk to her at all the rest of this game. So, still farming. Again, don't be that aggressive initiate type of Lee Sin unless you manage to get like a lot of tank stats early on. Because especially if you have a champion like a Garen on your team, he makes it your job easier. Like you as a jungler can do whatever you want without the risk of being caught as easily because Garen is going to be such a tank threat in the front line. So, oh yeah, this game is a gold elo game. I've got placed into gold 3 after the reset, after being plat 4 last season, getting placed in gold 3. It's not that bad. I've actually gotten into my gold 2 promos like 5 times, and I've lost them every single time because twice I had an AFK, and one time I was just playing on tilt, and then a couple of times they were just close games we ended up losing that got me my series losses. So I'm kind of upset about that, but hopefully by the time this video is getting released, I'll have climbed up to gold 2 or gold 1 or something, and look to get my way back into platinum this season. Hopefully diamond by the end of the season. Let's see. I think I pick up, yeah, Brutalizer, Merc Treads, and another Null Magic Mantle for some early sustainability to survive LeBlanc's burst because she's very strong right now. I forgot to turn on the item scoreboard thing at the early part of this game, so this is really my fault, guys, but LeBlanc has her DFG first item, and I really don't want to deal with it, but I catch her right here. So, like, oh, crap, wait, never mind, she's coming back. I land the Q, I land the Q over E, and then flash ult, and just blow her the fuck up. Like, just absolutely demolish that champion, because Lee Sin's damage scaling is absolutely ridiculous. Like, oh, wait, I'll talk about this later. Alright, that was a pretty nice thing I did right there. I ended up Wing away to a ward out of Jax's stun. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, because I get killed for a shutdown gold, because Leona ulted and ignited me, and Brand missed his ultimate. Or didn't even throw out his ultimate. Brand, you dumbass piece of shit! You didn't even throw out your ultimate! Oh, I died for no reason because of Brand. Fuck that kid. Oh my god. Alright, back to the game. Or back to what I was talking about, Lee Sin. Lee Sin's damage scaling is very strong. His E is a 1.0 ratio. His ult is a 1.2 ratio with AD. And his Q, both procs of his Q are 0.8, so it's basically a 1.6 scaling with his AD, which is really, really high. Like, the only reason this champion is balanced is because he's just so balls deep. Like, if you build damage, you really can't get away with going in early. You have to be, like, either a really strong mechanical assassin type Lee Sin, or you have to just be initiated upon, or have someone else initiate for you. But obviously I just took a dragon again. Like clockwork, every 6 minutes you're going to see me pushing my team to take that objective. It's just massive gold lead. Top lane is really, like, way far ahead, and the fact that he's getting dragons just makes that even more so. So, I'm just going to end up farming a bit more. I last hit this wave, which is pretty boring to watch, but, you know, deal with it. I'm last hitting this wave because Brand asked me not to shove, and I understand because LeBlanc has a lot of kill potential. Like, normally I would just be, like, shoving it into turret to try to deny her, but honestly, the fact that she's so mobile and he's so immobile, like, I understand. Like, I would be afraid of that matchup, too. Alright, so here, I'm getting a little hyphy, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna try to kill someone. I'm like, oh, LeBlanc, Q, E, R, Q, dead. Like, Q, E, R, Q, basic attack, dead. Like, that's all it took. Like, that burst was absolutely ridiculous. Like, literally, Q, E, R, Q, basic attack, and I just slaughtered her. And that's only with Brutalizer, Elder Lizard, and one more longsword. And the fact that I have the early magic resist means that even if she had tried to, like, fight me back, she wouldn't be able to kill me. Like, maybe if she had, like, a Zhonya's or part of a Zhonya's, I wouldn't have been able to kill her, but I don't know. She definitely would have struggled to kill me. Like, this is, like, Lee Sin's early game. This is Lee Sin's, like, magnificent portion of the game with damage. Like, Lee Sin level 1 and 2... Lee Sin level 1, 2, and 3 is very strong regardless of what items he has. Lee Sin, at this point in the game, is strong with items. Like, after this, you'll notice a slight bit of falling off, or before this, you won't have enough damage to actually burst your enemies down. But right now, it's just kind of the sweet spot. So you want to really be looking to make plays around this portion of the game, especially if you've gotten ahead. and manage to get some kills or dragons or stuff like extra gold from your team. So rest of this is just like a screwed up gank. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking murder her. Never mind, she's strong or like lifesteal tank or whatever. So I just end up wasting my ultimate. It doesn't really matter though, because I just wanted to farm and get my conservation stacks done. Sivir takes that. I'm like, okay, fuck that bitch. Like, okay, Sivir, if you're gonna take that, I'm gonna take reds. And she was like, do it. So I took. You're gonna see that I take all the reds because she told me to do it. But yeah, I've just wanted my conservation stacks. It's pretty greedy, honestly, if you're a laner and you're taking a jungler's conservation stacks when he has max. Like, if I'm sitting at, like, 2 conservation and I only get 2 extra gold for a jungle kill, like, hell, like, take it, you know? Like, I'll give it to you. Honestly, I understand. You need the gold. Like, I need the gold, you need the gold. Whoever gets it, that's fine. But if I'm sitting at 80 stacks, literally, by taking it, you are postponing my gold and making it so I've earned less. Like, you take my maximum conservation stacks, which aren't getting any higher, and you waste them on yourself. It's very, very greedy. Like, you don't get that extra 40 gold that I would have gotten, so I don't know. That's just my mini rant in this game. Like, please, be wary that your jungler needs gold too. Especially in Season 4, your jungler having gold is a very important thing. Alright, so right here I get kind of hyphy again. I'm like, ooh, maybe I can catch LeBlanc trying to roam. And notice she's leaving mid lane. I'm like, yes, I have this so easy. Wait, what? She W'd. That's not normal. Oh, fuck. I'm getting surrounded. So I'm like, I kind of freak out. I'm like, alright, I'm just going to E, flash, and then W over the wall. And I'm running away. I'm running away. I see Caitlyn flash. I'm like, fuck everything. Whiff. I live. So I got Caitlyn's flash. I got LeBlanc's ultimate. I got Leona's ultimate. I got LeBlanc's ignite. I got LeBlanc's DFG. I got Caitlyn's flash. Like, all of that just from trying to hide in a bush and kill them. I got pretty lucky. Had they played it better, I probably would have died. Mind you, I could have played it better myself. Actually, yeah, I could have played it better. I could have tried to Q to LeBlanc and get myself out by Qing to her, ulting, and then Qing again, and then Wing over the wall. I may not have had to flash, but I mean, wasting a flash for 3 ultimates and a flash is, I mean, it's worth it. Like, you know, I'll take it. So dragons up like clockwork every 6 minutes. I'm gonna go take that objective, get my team some extra gold in their pockets, get myself some extra gold in my pockets, get an experience advantage, get an objective advantage, just really set the tone for the game. Leona comes to ward. I'm just like, dance on the ward a bit. But then all of a sudden, like, wait, what? She just saw me take dragon, and she's overextending in bot lane. Like, what the hell? Does this bitch not know anything? So I go in after ward jumping and hitting a Q, and I kick because I don't want the stun to hit me, but it hits me anyways. And then Brand's ultimate just does 10 bajillion damage and kills her, so it doesn't really matter. But then Sivir is a greedy little bitch, so she lets Lulu die to the ultimate, rather than tanking it with the spell shield that she put on and then wasted. Like, she literally put on her spell shield and watched the Caitlyn ultimate go right by her and hit her support and kill her. I'm just like, okay, I'm sick of the Sivir. Like, red buffs are hella more mine than I ever thought they were going to be this game, and you're just going to have to deal with that. So the important part of those kills in the bot lane and the kill on LeBlanc was getting the 2 turrets afterwards. It's all about that objective control, shoving the map, getting turrets, getting dragons, barons, etc. Also, you've noticed this game that I've taken a lot to counter jungling, especially in the early game. I was counter jungling a lot, and now in the like mid or late game, I'm really setting really setting a tone for counter jungling. Like, I really don't want them to get blues. I really don't want them to get reds. Like, I want my team to get all this experience in gold. I want myself and my team to just nail their race, nail their wolves, nail their white, nail their blue, nail their red consistently over and over and over. So they're just starved of farm. And the only way they can farm is by shoving out a lane and having to fight us. Unfortunately, Caitlyn's kind of come back in the game a little bit. She's got, like, back on a rampage. But in a second here, we're going to get into like an awkward team fight where I get a really bad initiate because Garen's just trolling. I was like, Garen, go in. Like, we're gonna protect this turret. Like, we're way ahead. We can do this. And he was like, I'm just gonna dance here. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll engage. And then I fuck up the engage. It's okay though because Lulu gets like the amazing 4-man knockup and like gives me all the tanky stats. So I end up surviving through this fight. And I get out. Jax, Riven, and LeBlanc all kind of wasted a lot on me. Leona ulted me again. I'm sick of Leona ults at this point. But they wasted a lot on me. They didn't get anything. We got an ace. So we just shoved turrets mid lane. And I think we get yeah, we get both turrets and an inhib. Yeah, we get both turrets and the inhib. So now we're way ahead. I'm just like, alright, I kind of want to mess around a little bit. I'm going to go Check their wolves and their blue. Take the wolves. Like, yeah, that's easy. Take their blue. Alright, I don't want them having this. It's a lot of experience and utility. I'm going to take that. And then I just back over the wall. Alright, so now getting back, I'm like, alright, well, LeBlanc is actually starting to hurt. Caitlyn's actually starting to hurt. So I pick up a bit more defensive, and I pick up the sweeper. Sweeper trinket, so I can clear wards, so we can try to do Baron. And I'm like, alright, team, let's shove out a lane and then go check if they have any wards over here. And I come, and I'm like, alright, no wards, I better do this. This goes back to how strong damage Lee Sin is. His W, the second part of his W, giving him the lifesteal and spell vamp, really makes it so he doesn't take hardly any damage at all from Baron. And this fight is honestly fairly misplayed by everyone. I'm not sure if this Riven plays Riven a lot, but like, I don't know. I tried to fancy foot myself to a ward there. I end up just looking like a dope, but I mean it works. And I hit the Q and I killed her, so like, I look like a dope, but I got it. It works. If it works, it's good for me. So they've got a lot of people dead. At least 3 people are dead right now. So we're just gonna like shove this top lane, Sivir and I, even though I hate this stupid bitch. We get the turret. I'm like, all right. And then comes one of the more fun parts of the game when you get to mess with your enemies. So I'm like, there's Jax. He places a ward. I'm like, and then whoa, I'm back over. So I don't know. It's just like a little sneaky little fun move to do with Lee Sin. You Q at them and then you immediately ward back and W to where you were to get safe. I don't know. It's just one of the reasons I like this champion. He's really mobile and fun. A lot of little niche things you can do with him. Alright, we're way ahead. You can see that they actually tried to surrender at this point, but it didn't go through. So I'm like, alright, Baron time. Just consistently putting on W. I'm getting Lulu shields. I'm getting my Q to get the spell vamp. I don't have smite because I used it at the white because I'm greedy and I didn't want to let Sivir get it. But it doesn't really matter. Like, we just get the secure from Brand, and they didn't really have a way of contesting it. And even if they had gotten it, honestly, they were really far behind. We probably just could have beaten them afterwards. So at this point, it's a little weird because our Sivir is kind of being selfish, and she doesn't want to siege very much. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go mess with their Jax if he's not gonna like defend. And we clear the wave, or I clear the wave, and I'm just messing with Leona. Honestly, at this point in the game, I'm just like, we're really far ahead. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with my champion and stuff. I go back, I pick up a Sunfire, and I get double elixirs, so I can have cooldown reduction, health, and more attack damage. You've noticed that I've got the maxed out Sightstone at this point. It's for a combination of pick potential in their jungle and preventing our people from dying, although it doesn't really matter because our Brand gets caught, and then Garen returns the favor, but then LeBlanc answers again, and we end up being down a person. But I see Garen is about to get into something serious with Riven and Jax, so I'm like, oh shit, I better do this. W over the wall, Q to the Jax, E to slow their attack speeds, and then ult to execute, and then the rest of it's just a chase fight. And Garen flash Ravenous Hydras to secure the kill. I was literally in the middle of basic attacking to kill that champion, and Garen flash Ravenous Hydras to steal it. And I'm like, okay, whatever, champ. You can have it if you want it that bad. Alright, at this point, I'm just going to mess around with them again. And, like, Leona fucking... Basically, she misses her Zenith Blade by throwing it at the ward that I wasn't even going to yet. And gets lucky because she, like, managed to somehow hit me. And I'm like, fuck everything. So I draw out her ultimate, her ignite, Caitlyn's ultimate, and LeBlanc's passive from that. Just by kicking Leona through Caitlyn and LeBlanc, I blew LeBlanc's passive. Like, this champion's damage is off the wall right now. Like, the passive from the Mog increasing my attack damage by 1 for every 1% of health missing or 2% of health missing is like making it so like my executes when I'm at low health are just ridiculous. Like, I am doing some serious damage. I'm basically another laner. Like, I'm really farmed. I've gotten a lot of the kills. As you can see, I'm like 10-1 and 7 at this point. It's hard to see on my screen, but I'm really big. Like, I've got a lot of gold. I've got a lot of conservation stacks and stuff. And we end up getting the kill, and I'm like, I want to secure this LeBlanc kill, so I just place my Q and wait for it to get execute. Just messing around a bit, because this is going to be the final push of the game. Like, there's nothing they can do. They're way too far behind. We've still got people with like massive gold leads, and every single lane won and stuff like, or bot lane didn't, but every lane but bot lane won really hard, like top and mid, and bot lane wasn't that bad. Got every dragon, every baron, blah, 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 that fun stuff. So we're just going to start pushing to win, and at this point, there's not much to talk about gameplay-wise, except for how much fun this stupid champion is, just like dashing all over the place, and queuing things, and ulting things, and he's just like, I just love this champion. Like, even if this champion weren't viable, I'd probably still play him. But right now, I honestly believe that he's a strong champion because, boom, my kill. I honestly believe that he's pretty strong because the reworks to the Elder Lizard, even though they return mana now, they also make it so it returns a lot of health, and the conservation system really gives the jungler enough gold for him to carry. Like, I honestly carried this game with Garen. And that's because I had enough gold for conservation, I had dragon control, and I had a few kills, so this game was pretty over by the mid game. So thanks for watching this video. If you could leave me any feedback in form of a comment, that would be many welcome. Wow, I would love to hear your advice on how I could make this video better, how I could get the audience more engaged, all that good stuff. Anything you guys want to see from me in particular, I could work with that too. I would love to make a video explaining any jungle things you want. I'm trying to get Ethan to make a stupid video, but he is being stubborn and lazy and all that good stuff. So I guess, I don't know, the rest of it's just like follow me on Twitter at PCJews. Be sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. Follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/PCJews. I'll be streaming on there a lot. League of Legends, Infestation, Planetary Annihilation, a lot of other games. It should be fun time. You know what I'm saying? And that's about all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Good luck out there in solo queue.